We get a lot of questions in the comments about different tools to use, especially when we do the reviews of different tools. The Yesware one, the CRM tools, all that stuff. And a lot of the gist of these comments are people either asking what tools they should use or complaining about the price or giving free alternatives, going back and forth. But the mindset I have when it comes to picking tools is just kind of going for it. That's the basic gist of this video. I want to talk a little bit about how to make quicker decisions when it comes to picking tools for your business. At one of my last agency jobs, we were trying to pick a tool to send cold emails with, and it was between Tout and Yesware. And I sat there while we were going back and forth. I wasn't the one making the decision on it. It was a guy who was just senior to me. And one guy on our team had the task of researching Yesware. The other guy on our team had the task of researching Tout. And I got to watch like the waste of time that these guys went through. The Tout guy was like on sales calls, 3 or 4 sales calls with the person who was selling the app, went through all these demos. He then took that and presented it to the lead decision maker, like went through all this stuff. The guy on Yesware did the same thing, like going back and forth, figuring out, does it have the email sending capabilities? Does it provide the subject line? There was so much they went through. And then finally, we were leaning heavily towards Tout, but they got the entire sales team in the room. That's when I was looped in on this. They got like 3 or 4 people in the sales team. The director of sales was in there, and we had to listen to a SaaS demo of Yesware. They went through the pricing, we like fully grilled them. It was almost like the rest of the sales calls weren't necessary. But in the end, we went with Tout app, and it was just a complete waste of time. Like literally for that kind of thing, Tout app and Yesware are almost the exact same tool. That's the type of thing where somebody in the company literally just had to make a choice, and it would have saved everybody a lot of time. And it sounds pretty straightforward, right? Like there doesn't seem to be a need for me to even bring this up, but a lot of you seem to be stuck in that mindset of building a list and like doing the pros and cons for almost everything. And in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot more important to go out there, send cold emails, come up with a value proposition, start pitching clients, than it is to figure out whether you should use Gmail or Zoho for your email sending. If you're going to be picky, if you're going to do pros and cons or that sort of thing for anything in your life, only do it for a few things, and picking a software or picking a tool is not the most important thing to do that for. And the concept we're talking about today, it's not really just about picking tools or SaaS for your business. It's really about everything in life. Picking a niche, for instance, for your agency. Originally, Experiment 27 started out as a content production company for SaaS. Then we were cold email for SaaS. Then we became cold email for agencies. And there was no list building or pros and cons to go after each one of these niches. We literally were trying each one, and then some people liked us in SaaS, some people didn't like us. Then when we tried agencies, we saw a little bit more results, so we knew that agencies were the thing. Like, it literally was just experimentation. And there's so much that you can miss when you do a pros and cons list that it's almost irrelevant. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to like it to encourage this type of content. Subscribe for more B2B sales training. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. Thanks.